What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have Aidan Hughes, a long time, well, I guess not long time, but I used to work with him back in the day via online coaching, so dope to see him come back around. And since he's been at college, get a little technical analysis. So um, before we get into today's video, just want to let you guys know if you guys are interested in online coaching or technical analysis like you see in this here video, go to my website, gripandrip.co. I urge you to go take action now because it is the preseason. I know indoors is starting up for a lot of college kids in a little bit here, so if you really want to make some good technical gains to really set some PRs later in February and March and even into outdoors, you got to start working now. So go check out my website, gripandrip.co. All right, so let's get into it. Let's take a look at this video. Aidan sent me a few videos from a mock meet he had where he set a couple PRs. I believe this was the best one, I would guess. 1578 or so. He's come a long way since I used to work with him. He's looking stronger for show. So love to see him making some good progress. And the good news is, I think, looking at this throw and knowing it's 1578, and looking at the other throws that are also, I think, over 15 meters, I think you have 17 meters in the tank right now if your technique, is just a little bit more efficient. So that's good news. You're definitely not too far off from dropping some bigger bombs. So we'll take one more look at this, and then we'll break it down frame by frame and tell you what you need to fix. The big issue, I think, I see that left side pulling back in 3 and 4, and in this video, it is less of a problem. Where I think the 4377. That's for Aidan's reference, the video file. Your left side's really tight, and then it got better with each throw that I saw. So 4373, and then no, I'm looking at 4377. Whichever one, I think 4379 was the one that the left side was going crazy. But it does happen a little bit in the other two videos. It's just a little bit more lined up. So let's just get into it. I'm rambling now, as I tend to do. So one wind, and then enter the ball. So if we go back to the start of the wind, as we know, I'm not a huge fan of winding the weight, but it's not bad. As you can see, the ball's really low here. Not a bad thing. You do a good job of kind of opening up the shoulders, connecting really early with it. So you're doing a good job there. A lot of extension in the low back, but you're wearing a belt, so that's probably fine. And then as you come through on entry, you are setting up that left side pretty well. As you can see, you're shifting your weight back over to that left side, left foot, knee, hip, shoulder, a little bit over, but it's getting there. But you're setting up that left side well. As the ball goes through zero, there is a little bit of that left side shifting back, though. Like I said, that left shoulder. Just a little bit of instability through here. So that left side's coming back just a little bit. So you're losing a little bit of tension, losing a little bit of stability, losing a little bit of connection. As you go through entry, though, you're getting that left hip out of the way. Ball's a little low. As you can see, it's like your hands are kind of down at waist height. I've seen this a lot in a lot of my online coaching athletes recently as they switch from hammer to weight. Their orbit gets a little bit steeper, so their hands come down about waist height, their chest comes a little bit forwards, and they're just losing a little bit of connection there because they don't quite have the solid posture they need. And the ball's just a little bit low around the left side. So I'd say stabilize that left side a little bit more, keep that left shoulder up, and use this right leg to stabilize just a little bit longer before the ball gets, as the ball goes through zero. So you're just shifting back a little bit. So there's a little bit of left side lean there. But single support movements, pretty tidy. Good right side connection. I actually very much like this position. You're a little shrugged up in the shoulders. Not a big thing though. Just food for thought, I guess. You catch, and you really start working right away. So like good stable left side here, that left heel grounds. Pretty decent. but still that left side goes just a little bit early. As you can see, that head, that left foot is just a little bit ahead of the ball, which isn't a bad thing, but it does pull back, and you never really let the ball go long out to the left. You're kind of shortening the orbit around the left. So if we go back to, leave my mouse where it is, so your ball reached this far, put it right at the edge of the ball. In that previous turn, as you can see, the ball shortens by about a few inches. So shortening that orbit a little bit around the left, that left side pulls. So that shortens your time in single support, and you catch a little bit later. And I think in this single support, you kind of over posture a little bit, where it looks like you're kind of stepping around, and you stand up a little bit, your chest gets a little taller, and you can see you kind of pre-turn before you get that right foot down. So you're kind of starting to work that left side before that right side gets down a little bit. And you over rotate with this right foot, which comes from, like I said, if the ball shortens around the left, ball gets shorter around the left, you have less time in single support, so you over rotate, catch a little bit later, and you can see your right foot is beyond your left foot. So I think this is where a lot of your issues come from, at least in this throw. That left side pulls back, you catch a little bit later, so then to keep tension, that left side needs to pull more. So now we're going to see this left side pull back even more dramatically. So if I keep my mouse where your left shoulder is, that left heel grounds, that left side pulls back even more. You're ahead of it even more. If you see your head now, it's pointing more towards 45, 60 after 0. Your hips are turning with it pretty well, but you're always just slightly ahead of it. And then so now, same thing, put our mouse at the end of the ball, go back to the previous turn. Now you're shortening it even more. You can also see in this turn your hips kind of sink down a little bit, kind of losing a little bit of connection there. And then you start to turn kind of inside of the ball is what I call it. So that left side turns before the ball gets through 0, before the ball gets long left. You're turning and pulling back and ripping that left shoulder away. So then that's going to shorten the orbit even more. You're probably going to catch later, and you can start to see you're starting to spin out a little bit here. Your hips kind of sinking down and back when they really should be going towards the hammer in this portion of the throw. They're kind of sinking down and back away. You go to catch. Ball's a little bit later. Your feet are a little bit more even, but now you kind of pulled yourself out of the orbit a little bit to try to salvage this, I think. And then you're starting to lose some tension in the body, losing some separation because you are catching a little bit later. So once again, there's not as much tension in the body in this catch. And then with that, you're posturing up even more to stabilize this left side there. Now you start to see that left shoulder kind of drop down. And now you're getting really ahead of it. And you can see the low point start to shift out in front of that left foot. And then that left side pulls back even more. Orbit shortens even more. And then you can start to see the high point down that left sector line. And then it almost pulls you off the ground. Actually, it does pull you off the ground a little bit. And then you catch. Right foot comes down, left foot sliding across the ground. And then you don't really stabilize. You don't really catch the ball until about here, technically. Like, yes, your right foot comes down there. But then you don't really stabilize there. So then what happens is that left side pulls. You get your hips up into it, but you can see this right foot's not really turning too well. But your hips are turning, trying to get up into it, and you finish out. And like I said, this was the best throw in terms of just overall. It was your best overall throw. It also goes most towards the center. Like, yes, it's a little bit left of center. But I think the 1558 was more left sector, and then I don't even remember the one that wasn't as good. But, yeah, it's just that left side's going a little bit crazy, and that all comes back to the entry. Got to set up that left side a little bit longer, have a little bit more stability. Once the ball gets to about here, you need to think about chilling and waiting and letting the ball pass, Keep your eyes maybe on a focal point behind you at 0. But you need to stabilize that left shoulder. Think about kind of like a backhand, swing with that left arm, with that left hand out to the left as far as you can. Or like I said, you're just shifting back a little bit and pulling back. And then that just kind of amplifies as each turn goes on, which is exactly what we saw. That left side pulls back more and more. And it pulls back more. And then you also kind of, like I said, you over posture to kind of create some tension because you're not quite 100% connected at the start of the throw. So Yeah, you definitely have the juice. You have the physical capabilities to throw 17 meters, I think. You just got to connect a little bit better on the entry, be a little bit more patient, and just find your rhythm a little bit more. So, yeah, pretty solid work, though. Excited to see what you do this year. Like I said, 16 meters definitely on the horizon. 17 meters, if you can really clean some of this stuff up. And then, who knows, maybe hit a solid peak and you go 18, drop a fat bomb. But uh, I think 17 is definitely within the realm of possibility over the next couple months. So, yeah. Let me know if you have any questions, Aiden. As you know, I'm always happy to help. And if anybody else out there would like online coaching or technical analysis, go to my website, gripandrip.co. All right. If you got any questions, shoot me a message. There's a contact form, or you can DM me on Instagram at SDThrows. All right. Thank you for watching. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.